For some people, 2 years of being ineffective is enough to quit their gym membership and decide fitness is not.
They give up, yeah.
And that's it. And there's almost like these parallel universes going on.
Oh, yeah.
Where like in one universe, they were happier, healthier, feeling better, right? Had confidence, had the respect of their kids, whatever it is. But in this current universe, it's, I'm tired, aging sucks, I can't wait to retire. How would someone determine whether or not they were better off doing DIY,
trying it on their own,
right? Do it yourself, or consulting an expert? And that doesn't just pertain to fitness, right, or personal training. That can pertain to anything.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go through the 5 stages of behavioral change, which can also be referred to as the trans-theoretical model, which for those who don't know, that's 5 stages of how people take action or make behavioral changes. This is a very well accepted, well received process that was created by 2 psychologists back in the 1980s. And it's very prevalent in health changes, behavioral health changes, right? So things like exercise, weight loss, even things like drug addiction, alcoholism.
Yeah, it can be, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think these are perfect to determine for yourself whether or not it's fitness, to thinking about hiring a landscaper or maybe working on your car, whatever it is, whether or not, hey, am I in the DIY category here, or is this maybe time to consult an expert, right?
Right.
So first and foremost, the 5 steps are pre-contemplation, which essentially just means it's not on your radar.
Yeah.
Right? You're not thinking about making a change. You don't think there maybe even needs to change, or it's just it's not on the radar.
Yeah.
Right? It's maybe not even a lack of self-awareness. It's just no awareness, period. Right? It's just not on your radar. The next one is contemplation, which is now you're aware there is a change that you want to make, right? So it may be, for example, someone saying, okay, the doctor's telling me my triglycerides are getting a little bit higher. I saw that picture on the last vacation where I'm starting to look a little not myself, not where I want to be. Right? So there's that awareness of the change of what you'd like to do, but it's still for whatever reason not.
And that's contemplation.
Yeah, you're not necessarily ready to take any steps yet. It's
just
more thinking about it.
It's like up here.
Let it marinate almost.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, quick break here. Just want to ask you guys to like, subscribe, and share the content with others who you think would benefit if you found this video helpful or any of our videos. Also, please comment. At the end of the day, we do these videos for you. We love your feedback. We'll always reply to the comments in the comment section and keep them in mind for future videos. And then the next one would be preparation, which is, okay, you're past contemplation now. You are ready to make a change. And you're now starting to think about what your strategy could be. Right? So in the context of weight loss, right, let's say, you might say, okay, well, I'm going to start doing research on nutrition, and you might start thinking about some steps you could take with that, or you might start reading up on strength training and exercise. You might be researching local gyms because you've decided it's time to get a health club membership.
Get the ball rolling.
Right?
Yep.
And then the next one would be action. So now we're actually taking steps, right? You've signed up for the gym, you're going and actually exercising 2 days a week, and maybe going on walks outside, maybe eating a vegetable with dinner, whatever it is. You're starting to take those steps. And then the last one would be maintenance. So like, let's say your goal was to lose 20 pounds, you've lost 20 pounds, and now, okay, well, what now, right? And that's a tricky one, right? Because you and I both know, I would say losing weight or achieving the goal of whatever it is sometimes, I think especially with weight loss, is almost half of the battle.
It's the maintenance.
Because how many people have you heard of lose weight and then gain it right back?
Yeah, it's very common.
Probably more than don't.
I would say that's more than don't. Yeah, I would say that.
I mean,
I agree.
I know some of my mom's friends.
It's people I know too.
Where that's been their situation. It's even my dad's friends.
Yeah.
Lose 50 pounds, gain 50 pounds. Lose 60 pounds, gain 70 pounds, right?
Right.
And that's where that maintenance phase is really
Yeah.
crucial. What do you do once you don't have that carrot on the stick, right? And so some people say maybe the 6th stage is relapse, which another way and other people look at that as more of, no, it's not a stage as much as it is a possibility in the action step or the maintenance step. So while you're taking action to do the said thing, maybe, work got really stressful, or hey, I'm in the maintenance phase, and you're like, oopsies, I gained 10 pounds on vacation, and now you're starting to slip. So what do you do then?
Holidays come up, whatever it is,
Right?
Yeah.
So those are the 5 steps.
Yep.
So I wanted to go through those and how someone might apply real quick, just kind of like a scenario of not necessarily fitness, because I think people are probably, I just brought up brief fitness ones. Right?
Yeah.
And then, but use one that isn't fitness related, right? So people can see, hey, it's not just about me saying, hey guys, this is what you want to do when you shop for a personal trainer, or if you're going to shop. It's just if you're going to consult with an expert, period.
Yeah, because we probably use it in more ways than we maybe realize, even just subconsciously, right? Because like you asked me how much I use it. Originally I said probably not at all that I could think of, but like the more I think of it, it's like I do that.
Yeah.
Go through those stages like just automatically.
Exactly. And I think that's part of why this is so well accepted after 30. I mean, it was created in the 80s and still, I mean, we were just talking about this. This is one that was at the forefront in like the new NASM certifications. It was in my nutrition coaching and weight loss specialist courses. So it's still, after all these years, being widely accepted as just a very effective sort of framework for how to approach behavioral change, especially within the context of health, but it can be anything, really, right? So first one, pre-contemplation. I think pre-contemplation isn't even really worth talking about, because it just means it's not on your radar. So
pretty simple.
Pretty straightforward, right?
Yep.
I don't even think there's a change, or I'm not even thinking about what that change might be. I'm just living life. Okay, moving on. I think this is where it starts to play a role in, okay, do I consult an expert, or do I DIY?
Try it on my own, yeah.
Right? So in the contemplation phase, you're starting to think about, okay, I'm aware that I want to do something, right? So I'll use an example that I had a couple of years ago, okay? So I was living in my first house, when a bachelor pad before I moved in with my wife. And, I just had a bunch of roommates, and we hosted a lot. We had fun. And, I wanted to have a better backyard setup than I did, right? The patio was kind of small. I wanted to extend the patio out, right? So I was thinking about that change, right? That's that contemplation phase. Where, again, I think when you're in that contemplation phase, you're still probably not ready to determine whether or not it's like DIY or expert, because you're still
just thinking about it.
It's still really nothing rubber hits the road kind of moment, right?
And it's like you haven't necessarily decided that you are going to take action yet.
You just know you want a desired outcome.
You want a certain outcome, but you're just still thinking.
Correct. Yeah, kind of again like that marinating thing, right? Yeah. So I might be sitting there going, wouldn't it be sweet if I had a sick backyard with a nice big patio, and be easier to host when we're having people over, and do a little bit of this with the backyard landscaping, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? But not necessarily like, okay, now what do I do next, right? I might have some thoughts here and there, but again, it's more or less just sitting on it for a little bit, right? So I wouldn't say it's really till that preparation, action, maintenance phase where people really get to the point where it's like, hey, now as an where do I go from here? Is it that DIY?
Can I do it on my own or not? Yeah.
Exactly. So when you're in the preparation phase, this is where you've decided to make a change and you're going to take action. So in this case with the landscaping, I decided, I'm going to do something about this, right? So I did feel initially, so there's a concept in behavioral change called self-efficacy, right?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, so self-efficacy is really just the belief that you can do something.
Yeah.
Right? I would say just in general, that plays a significant role in DIY versus consulting with an expert, right? Because at that moment, my self-efficacy was not high, but
enough to where you knew you could at least try it on your own.
Yeah, I'm
right?
like, you know what? All right, I'll start watching some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You know, I have a general vision. I kind of like the idea of creating some different flagstone pieces, you know, laying some, you know, sand and
getting
limestone gravel
below
it, getting some sort of glue between them to adhese them together.
Yeah.
Right. I thought, okay, I can do that. Right.
Yeah.
And so I started creating that preparation. Right. Then. But someone might say, before they get too much into that, they're already just sort of like, this is already seeming like a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
And over my head. Like.
Yeah. Maybe if it was just slapping down a piece of flagstone on grass and, you know, you've probably seen that in people's yards where it's like, it's little stepping stones to create more than just a grass, right?
Yeah.
But I felt still relatively confident.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the action phase where I was like, crap. Because I didn't prepare properly.
Oh, okay.
I actually cut corners, right? I didn't think about tamping the ground, which is like leveling all the ground. I didn't think about laying sand down. I kind of skipped that step and went straight to getting gravel.
Just like I want to get to the result.
Yeah, and before I knew it, I was looking. I got to the point where I had all this limestone gravel on the landscaping, and then I started positioning the flagstones, and it just looked terrible.
So it was like a look thing.
It just
you weren't happy with it.
It didn't look good.
Okay.
It didn't look like level. It just all across the board, and I had already spent. I think I'd already spent like $1,500.
Wow.
Between the big rocks, the big flags.
Stuff's expensive.
The what do they call that? Flagstone, right? Where it's like
I think
it's where it's not a square. It's kind of like supposed to look like a natural look. But I think I had already spent $1,000, done multiple trips driving my silly Honda Civic to and from the landscaping place. Got like a jack ton of limestone gravel delivered on my driveway. Me and my brother probably hates me for this. We shoveled the limestone for like a whole afternoon.
Oh yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah, my neighbor who had like dementia kept coming over to us and be like, "You guys are a bunch of sons of guns," and he just kept doing that. Or like, we know. Yeah. So it was just crazy. We invested so much time and energy, and it did not come out at all the way I wanted it to. So one of my buddies owns a landscaping company, and finally I just called him and I just said, dude, you need to bail me out. I really need your help because I've already
finish it.
I've already spent this money.
Now you're invested in it.
And he did, and what stunk about that is it actually didn't look how I wanted it to in my head.
Even after he did it, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think that would have been one of those moments where in hindsight, I wish I did two things different. I either in the preparation phase really took it seriously, right?
Like planned a little better?
Yeah, like really planned
Researched
it better. Researched, didn't cut corners, like really, I think I'm used to flying by the seat of my pants, and that is, in some ways, I haven't gotten bit enough by that in my life, so it hasn't necessarily fixed I've definitely gotten much better about it over the years, but I've learned over time, okay, Danny, this is your way.
Yeah.
If you can take the easy route, you will.
For sure.
And so I wasted a bunch of money. It didn't look the way I wanted it to. I wasted time. I wasted energy. So in hindsight, I would have either really done the preparation phase more thoroughly and kind of built that self-efficacy up, really created that vision more clearly.
I think of how easily that could happen in a gym setting too. Just like not a good plan, you know, not a proper plan.
Yeah. And the problem in the gym setting, it's not necessarily as much of the time investment or money investment with DIY.
Yeah.
Because I mean, having a gym membership that's like $40 or whatever a month isn't the end of the world for almost everybody.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the time.
Yes.
Right? It's I've done 6 months of effort.
Maybe 4 or 5 days a week. Some people are really ambitious, you know, when they start.
Yeah.
And you're going every day during the week or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just had a client like that. So he did an assessment with us.
Okay.
Like probably back in the fall, end of fall. Yeah. And I ended up getting a phone call from him and I go, oh, this guy, because he never actually trained.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, hey, this guy. I'm like, what's up? And he goes, yeah, the assessment I did with you guys was good. I was happy with how it went. I learned a lot, and you guys are professional. But I still felt I wanted to do it on my own.
Yeah, and that's okay too. Yeah,
it almost reaffirmed
yeah.
that his self-efficacy.
Right.
So he actually went into the consulting, which is, you could argue that's still in the preparation phase, because he still is personal training an option for me, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Still thinking, yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And that experience actually built his self-efficacy. It's like, you know what? Based on this,
I could probably do this.
I think I can do this.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later or whatever, it didn't work out that way, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay, right?
Yeah,
you know, I told him, I said, because at first he goes, yeah, I should have just signed up then. And I go, no, because now think of the conviction you have going into this.
Yeah.
Like
it's a whole different perspective now. Yeah.
But there's not that ambivalence.
Yeah.
Of like, maybe this, maybe that. No, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it the right way.
Just go all in and do it the right way. Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And so that's, I think, to your point with the fitness, that's the dark side. Is it's not necessarily money as much as it is
just wasting time.
It's wasting time.
We only have so much of it.
I mean, how many people in the gym industry don't actually see any results?
Yeah.
They don't lose weight. They don't get much stronger. They don't change their physique through building muscle. They don't
feel
necessarily
better.
have any sort of material change that they can measure, right? And so that's the biggest thing with this. It's the time. And even with personal training clients. So it can be money too, because some people go into personal training thinking like, just by osmosis, having a personal trainer, means they're going to be in like the best shape of their life, right? Where really it's, even if we're meeting with people 2-3 days a week, that's another 165, 166 hours in the week. What are you doing with that?
Oh yeah.
Right? How are you eating?
Yeah.
Are you just sitting all
Most
day?
of it happens outside the gym, yeah.
Oh yeah. And so I think that's that key right there. So I didn't even make it, bringing it back to the landscaping, I didn't even make it through the action phase. There was never a maintenance phase for me, right?
You never hit that stage.
I pretty much started the action phase and was like, oh damn, right? Like I'm a goofball, right? And so in hindsight, I wish I consulted an expert, or I wish I just took that preparation phase more seriously, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, again, this is so different for everyone, right? Where you're feeling in terms of your self-efficacy, right? Like, I know people out there, I'm sure you do too, who building a deck in their backyard is nothing but a matter of time for them.
Right.
They know they can do
how
it.
To do it, yeah.
They feel good about it. It will be rewarding to go through that process, right? And that's another thing too, actually. I think how rewarding a process is for you too also plays a role in action. Because
especially with something like that, people may love the process of that.
Yeah.
People that are handy and whatever it is, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine someone just sitting there like on a piece of paper, sort of drawing like a rudimentary blueprint, or maybe a not so rudimentary blueprint as they're thinking about building a deck or a landscaping project, or if they're going on ChatGPT or whatever.
People love that. And I could probably think of ways in my own life where I've done something like that for something I'm passionate about,
And you're excited.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I can see how this is going to work, right? And then you start taking action, and maybe it's the same thing. It's a rewarding, fulfilling process to do. That's how exercise is for us, for me and you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The act of actually exercising is fulfilling for us.
Yes.
Right?
I enjoy
it's not
it.
just about the outcome. But for some people, it's not.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite. So that I think that other than just the self-efficacy piece, there's also that piece of just, is the process even rewarding?
Yeah.
Right?
That's a big part of
it. And if you're one of those people out there who probably need personal training more for support, right?
Or like accountability,
right?
Yeah.
Then that might be something worth taking into consideration. Is if you know at this point we all know strength training is like irrefutably beneficial and cannot be replaced by anything else, right? I'm not saying it's the only thing anyone needs for their fitness, but as far as creating the physique you want, getting stronger, longevity, it's irrefutably it's at the top of all of the things you could be doing to just live well, live empowered throughout your young and latter years.
Yep.
So in that case, it actually can make sense just to, even though you might not like the process, the ends justifies the means. And I would say for that type of person, consulting an expert may be the best move at that point, right? And I would say that's where I think I fall in a lot of DIY home projects. Like my dad and I never did home projects together. His dad never did that with him.
Yep.
So the idea of just sitting and being like, I'm going to take a Saturday afternoon just do this project. It doesn't really satisfy me.
It's the same with me too. I mean, I grew up. My dad is very handy, but I never really, learned it to that extent at least.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to learn it either. So.
Did any of your brothers go that route? Like they could? No, interesting. None of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No offense, Mike, but if you're watching this, my brother, we're not super handy, I would say.
Yeah.
But my dad is. He's an electrician, so.
Yeah. And that's how it goes, right? So he could be the guy that goes, building a deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's all?
And me, or you, were building a deck, let's go to ChatGPT. That's the first thing I'm doing, probably. Exactly. If I had to do it on my own. Otherwise, the option for me is to hire someone.
And that's a good point. That's actually one of the ideas you and I were exploring when we first thought about doing this podcast was how ChatGPT can play a role in this. Because, guys, now more than ever, information is so available, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so in that preparation phase, I mean, that's about as easy as it's ever been. But it could also be more overwhelming than it's ever been before, too.
True.
So one person looks up, all right, how do I build a deck? How do I make my own patio with flagstone? How do I lose 20 pounds and maintain my muscle mass, right? And there's person A who looks at that and goes, okay, yeah, all right, I'm seeing how this is all coming together. I got it. And person B just goes,
right.
I'm tired just even reading
looking
this
at
stuff,
it,
right? And that's where you have to be honest with yourself and just say maybe at that point in the journey, it may make more sense to consult with an expert at that point. So again, this isn't about get a personal trainer, don't get a personal trainer. It's about, hey, at the end of the day, time is valuable. It's the only thing that you can't buy back, right? You can get more money, you can't get more time, right? And so ultimately, obviously there's some things that are lower stakes, right? Like at the end of the day, I spent $1,000 on my property, my landscaping. Is that really the end of the world? No. But I think
it can be a lot worse though, depending on the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, imagine I started actually excavating things, and but on the flip side, there are for people with fitness, hey, for some people 2 years of being ineffective is enough to quit their gym membership and decide fitness is not.
They give up,
and that's it. And there's almost these parallel universes going on.
Oh, yeah.
Where in one universe they were happier, healthier, feeling better, right? Had confidence, had the respect of their kids, whatever it is. And but in this current universe, it's I'm tired, aging sucks. I can't wait to retire.
Yeah.
So I think it's just important Just be honest with yourself about where you're at in the process. Pay attention when you're going through those stages. What level of self-efficacy do I have? Do I really feel like I can do this, right? And do I have a belief in myself that I could go to the next phase of this process, right? Is this something that's even going to be worth my time to do, right? Maybe you are someone who have a bit more disposable income, and the idea of doing your own landscaping is just like, I'd rather just pay someone to do it. I make good money. I make enough money where I can justify. I'd rather be on the lake with my family in the summer than doing that landscaping.
Right? If that's the case,
right? You know, now maybe you're someone who doesn't have that disposable income, so there's really no option whether it's this or that, right? Now at that point again, it's, you know, it's really comes down to, do you have that self-efficacy?
Yeah.
Right. But there's no right or wrong answer. Sometimes, like that guy, he needed to try it on his own. He believed he could. He came back. Then later he consulted an expert. Now he's on the right track. Same thing with me. I tried.
Sure, yeah.
It blew up in my face, right? And then, you know, then I got it fixed, right? So there's no right or wrong answer. And so ultimately, I hope that's helpful to anyone listening. Do you have any questions on anything?
No. Again, I think it's super important, even if it's something subconsciously you're aware of or just realize you're doing. But I think that maintenance part is a big piece too. I know we touched on it a little, but just in terms of, you know, you may need to reevaluate, you know, certain things, and that would mostly happen in that stage. Yeah. At that point, right? So that's an important piece, I think, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, and that's
as opposed to like, okay, it's not working, give up, and or what did you call that last stage?
Relapse.
Relapse, yeah. So,
and that's an important distinction, and I think why this works well for more for behavioral changes, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, doing landscaping isn't a behavioral change.
Yeah.
Right. So
project.
It's a project. So there really isn't a maintenance phase.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, other than sweeping it and stuff.
True, yeah.
Right. But with true behavioral changes, that's where you can relapse, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
like goals and things like that.
Yeah, and I think that's where just reassessing, building in some flexibilities, giving yourself grace from time to time, but just
absolutely
get back on the wagon. So
awesome.
Thanks, Nico.
Thank you.